Yes guys, welcome back to another video. It's your boy Coach Indy here, and on today's video it's all about goalkeepers and what type of saves they have to make in a game situation and what types of decisions they have to make before making those saves. Now if you are a goalkeeper, you'll absolutely enjoy this video. Now if you're an outfielder who maybe doesn't understand anything about goalkeeping at all, please don't tune away, stick with this and you'll understand a bit more about goalkeeping and why certain saves would be made for certain positions within the goal mouth, or certain decisions be made in terms of the speed of the strike, trajectory of the strike, distance of the strike, all these kind of things. If you like this type of video, please do drop it a like. It will massively help the channel grow. The more likes we have on the video, it means that more people will obviously see this video because the video will be landing on people's feeds. So please consider dropping it a like, and obviously just leave a little cheeky comment as well, maybe what type of save you like the most, something that you maybe learned in this video as well. I'm going to start waffling on now. There is so many different types of saves, from collapsing saves, from high diving saves, low diving saves, top hand saves, foot saves, etc. So many different types. Let's jump into the video. Save type number one is called a low diving save. This is very common for goalkeepers who are starting out. It's a basic type of save. You want to try and make sure you attack the ball by going forwards, slightly on the angle, not parallel or backwards, as it makes the save more difficult and increases the chances of the attacker to score. This one here, you're kind of working either left side or right side on the surface core, so you're spinning and setting, making sure you get a neutral position to make the save. In this situation here, the save type is exactly the same as save type number one, a low diving save, but the circumstance and the situation is slightly different. So the goalkeeper is now going to start off the post. So the situation here we're working on is maybe a cutback from the opposition player, or the opposition player's got to the byline, they're looking to cut the ball back from that Sergio Aguero position, and then goalkeeper's looking to make that low diving save. Got the mannequin there to sort of create a little mini goal there as well to make it game realistic. In this situation here, we've got the goalkeeper a little bit higher in terms of their starting position, a little bit vulnerable to maybe a chip. We're not working on that particularly, we're working on a static strike from 10 yards away. Again, it's a spinning set from the goalkeeper, so quick reaction, quick footwork, and then the trajectory of the ball will always be different from the server. So we're now working on three different types of saves. So you've got the low diving save, where you receive one across the deck, either left or right. Then you've got something called the W save, which you can just see there. That traditionally you would normally receive that above your rib cage, or between your rib cage and your head height. And then you've got something called the cup save, which you normally receive between sort of your knee height and your rib cage, making sure you kind of collect the ball and bring it into your body. So what we're really working on here is the goalkeeper's decision making. Can they make the appropriate decision according to the trajectory of the ball, the speed of the ball, the flight of the ball, the situation around them? There could be players flying about, etc. So there's lots of decision making to be made for a goalkeeper in this situation. Okay, in exercise 4, we're now going to add a couple of different elements to it to make it even more game realistic. So initially the goalkeeper is going to ask for the ball. So it's a bit of communication with your centre half, holding midfield, etc. Going to ask for the ball across the deck, so they're going to receive the ball, then they're going to punch it back. From there, it's a bit of footwork to make sure they get themselves into a nice neutral position, a good set position. And then it's all about decision making. Again, the strike's going to come in for about 10 yards away. Can they make the appropriate decision? A situation like this would be maybe a team playing out from the back, and the holding midfielder maybe lost the ball, the striker's nicked it and they're trying to get an early shot away. It's all about making that quick decision. Can they make the most appropriate decision within the game in a tight, pressurised situation? In this situation here, we're now working on the goalkeeper's core strength and also a little bit of stability, but also working on some reaction time as well. So the ball's getting punched in from maybe 3, 4, 5 yards away max. Can they react and move them hands into a good position? Get your hands behind the ball to make the save. If you do collapse to the ground, can you turn your core on so you get back into a neutral position, ready to make another save? This will be quite realistic in a game situation where maybe you've made a save initially, you're down on the ground and you're getting maybe back up, or you're down on the ground, you have to make another save. So it's good for them repetitive saves in a tight situation. In this practice here, we're now going to be working on some mini distribution, some lateral movement off your post before you kind of get yourself set, and then you're making that save. The type of save that comes in, it's all dependent on how the server strikes the ball. Again, it could be coming in low, it could be coming in hot, could be coming in soft, it could be coming in high. So there's different types of saves you've got to make. It could be a cup save just like that one there, it could be a W. All these types of decisions have to be made in a short, concise space of time. Players like Martinez, Aston Villa and Ramsdale are very, very good off their posts. In this situation here, we're now working on a longer distance strike, about 20 yards out. The goalkeeper in this situation should have more time to make an appropriate save. Obviously, that's dependent on the speed of the strike. The service that comes in, it's all dependent on how the server wants to distribute the ball. So we're working on lots of different types of saves. It could be low diving saves, it could be high diving saves, it could be one-handed parries, cup saves, W saves. It's all about giving that keeper lots of repetition and decisions to be made. Okay, in this situation, we're now working on some dippers. So the dippers are the technique that the server is actually producing. It's a dipping type of strike. Goalkeepers and goalkeeper coaches will know exactly what that is. The situation in match scenario would be something like maybe a second phase from a corner, ball gets kind of cleared and it lands to attacker on the edge of the box, and looking for that dipping type of technique. The goalkeepers having to maybe have some lateral movement around the goal from dealing from the cross initially, and then having to make a decision in terms of the flight of the ball. Again, can the goalkeepers make their most appropriate decision? Obviously, the decision has to be made in terms of how the flight and the speed of the ball comes into you. In this situation here, we're now working on some skimmers. That's the type of service that the server will produce. So that's a half volley that skims across the deck for about 20 yards out. The types of saves that are most appropriate will be Ks just like that, but traditionally would be low diving saves, maybe parries around the corner as well. Now traditionally with wet services it can be a bit more tricky to play in, but actually normally in a wet conditions this type of save is actually more easier for goalkeepers. It's actually in this video that you can see in front of you here, it's actually more tricky on a dry bobbly pitch. And with this final type of service, it's called a sidewinder. This is also very, very similar to a side volley, if you like, for outfielder players who kind of dip their shoulders, depending on what foot they use, looking to keep it flat and hard. So it's kind of game realistic. Obviously, with the ball coming in flat and hard, minimises the time for a goalkeeper to make that quick decision and understanding the trajectory of the ball as well. Now, sometimes some of these sidewinders or volleys or side volleys will come in high, some will come in low, just about making the appropriate decision. So coming in a bit higher, I'll probably say using the W technique is absolutely fine, or maybe parries around the corner depending on the height of the strike. And if it's coming in low, it's about just judging the bounce of the ball maybe, or if it's just a low diving save, can you parry it around the post.